Welcome to ISIS in the Bible Fall Gathering Week number 3. Cameras ready. Before sunrise on October 9th, which is tomorrow for us, get ready for a spectacular scene of Venus in her morning glory and the moon aligning exactly in the sky. Another sign before Mary steps on the snake on November 27th. The question for today was, do you think there will be a mass sign? What sign will it take to wake the world? Is November 9th of Venus moon conjunction significant or significant? I'm glad you could join us today. So we did go around the room and the responses were pretty much the same. The Jubilee, everyone smiling, everyone being filled with love. All of a sudden, everybody lost their ego and can only remember the good, positive things in their life. The karmic debt gone. That was a beautiful, beautiful discussion. So what's happening in the sky? Always a reminder, on November 27th, Mary steps on the snake, the famous scene seen throughout Christian churches around the world of Mary stepping on the snake. So anyone notice a lot of cleansing going on around them? Influenza, influence from the stars as we get into this season. And of course, with Mary stepping on the snake is representative exactly, right? So get your cameras ready, because this scene right here of Venus and the moon, you can see on November 9th, just before sunrise in Virgo, the moon aligns exactly with Venus. But it's not only aligned around the zodiac, but up and down in the sky as well as an exact alignment. So we'll see. See, the thing is that a lot of people talk about this scene in Islam. This is a famous depiction of a star being seen through the moon. So that's an interesting concept, right? Can that really happen? A lot of people would love for that would happen, because that would be a mass awakening, wouldn't it? A lot of discrepancies and a lot of discussions between the shape of the earth. Is NASA telling the truth? What have they done with all this money? Blah, blah, blah. That would bring together a really, really, really quick jubilee. But we already know that the banks are closing because there's been some dishonesty. So that's what's happening in the sky. Just briefly wanted to mention that on October 27th, the moon aligned exactly with Mary and the head of the snake. So that is exactly 1 month before the moon was there. So what a great feeling when you go outside and know that Mother Mary, not a literal being, but the love of every mother that ever existed is represented through that point when you look up to the sky. It's a beautiful feeling. There's that feeling of love. If you can go out there and when you see these type things, if you can feel that love, that's the loving feeling that you want everybody to feel with this Jubilee. So it's very timely. Okay, so Sister Ashley shared this Samhain picture here. Samhain is another word for All Souls, All Saints, Day of the Dead, Halloween, All Hallows, Hallowmas. Why am I bringing this up? Because the Day of the Dead or All Souls, All Saints Day hasn't happened yet. And I'm going to show you that it hasn't happened because it's an astrological event. It hasn't happened yet in the sky. So this is the Blessed Samhain. Greetings, this Samhain, marking the end of the year as we remember the departed souls we hold dear. The end of one cycle, the beginning of the next. May all your days forward be abundantly blessed. So I want to talk a little bit about this Samhain that we're coming upon. But related to it, I'm going to show you this little video. It's only a 2-minute clip on the Leonid meteor showers. This is a yearly meteor shower, by the way. It happens once a year. All right. That'd be her. I just wanted to back up right here for a second and show you that this is the Pleiades, the seven sisters. Alcyone is one of the brightest ones there. So this is what we'll be talking about today. So thanks for RevCat. She shared a file from the Y files. If you've ever seen that, he's got a little goldfish that's sitting next to him that does some animation and makes some really funny jokes. So thanks for sharing that, Cat, which led to the discussion on these meteor showers. How can it be that once a year, there's always meteor showers? I redacted out the stuff that's kind of nonsense, okay, because it's not a comet that comes around and it's the dust of the comet, in which will prove to you today. There's some important alignments happening that I also wanted to talk about. So I said every November there's a meteor shower. Meteor showers are events where numerous meteors are observed to radiate from one point in the night sky, entering Earth's atmosphere at extremely high speeds on parallel trajectories. The meteor shower you're referring to in November is likely the Leonids, which occur and are typically active between November 6th and November 30th. The peak when the most meteors can be seen usually falls around November 17th or 18th. The meteors in this shower appear to come from a point in the constellation Leo, hence the name Leonids, which it doesn't happen all the way through Leo, but anyway. The point is known as the radiant, and it vaporized due to friction with the air, creating the streaks of light we call meteors. We're going to get into it, but there's something that happens in the sky every year. Alcyone and the sun. The sun is exactly across from star Alcyone of the Pleiades. So we'll be talking about that. I just want to preface it that this is what we're doing, because right exactly on November 22nd every year, the sun is exactly opposite, which means setting or rising is important. But I also want to say that right on that day this year, which is lining with Marion the snake, another beautiful sign, is Ceres, the harvester. As you know, Ceres is the one that takes people from the visible. It's the Grim Reaper. I went in as a Grim Reaper on Sunday for All Saints Day, right? The Grim Reaper and Mars is going to be exactly aligned on that day in Scorpio. And what is Scorpio? Of course, Scorpio is another version of the snake, procreation. You know, the Ouroboros Rasselhaug of Fucus, separating the Ouroboros, the snake, from eating its tail. So it's important that we understand that this November, there is alignments and people's lives are going to be affected. So they are 100% related to the sun rising as the Pleiades are setting. So on the astrology chart, it would be when the sun is exactly opposite Alcyone, like we've shown here. So here's a quick little clip showing you on November the 22nd, you can see that Alcyone, right, is rising as the sun is setting. The ancients always looked at when something was rising, when something was setting, whether at sunrise or sunset, because these are the astrological signs that affect our being, our well-being, and then especially when we're in the beautiful, loving state we are right now, called the Phoenix rising, and now Mary stepping on the snake. So that being said, let's talk a few moments about this one in this meteor shower, its relationship. In Celtic mythology, the Pleiades were associated with mourning and with funerals, since at that time in history, the cross-quarter day between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice, see Samhain, Halloween, All Souls, which was a festival devoted to the remembrance of the dead. The cluster rose in the eastern sky as the sunlight faded in the evening. It was from this acronical rising that the Pleiades became associated with tears and mourning. So you can see that the Pleiades right now, and this meteor shower has gone throughout mythology. It's always, always, always been there. So it's not some comet that they're trying to say this is. We're going to try to get to what exactly this is. So the ancient Aztecs of Mexico and Central America based their calendar upon the Pleiades. This year began when priests first remarked the asterism heliacal rising in the east immediately before the sun's dawn light obliterated the views of the stars. Aztecs called the Pleiades, Alfredo can help us with that pronunciation, Tianquetzli. Anyway, it's a place where stars trade. Think about that. So got this beautiful image from AI where they're trading stars. I asked AI to take that word apart. It comes from market or place of trade. Itzli means obsidian, which is a naturally occurring volcanic glass. In compound words, it often denotes something that is closely related to or associated with the first part of the word. Therefore, Tianquetzli roughly translates to marketplace of the stars or where the stars trade. AI, in a debate I had with it, agreed that in a closed loop system, the volcanoes that are erupting is just merely condensed volcanic gases. It's a process. It's a process that happens in the sky. It's a beautiful process. If you look at our closed loop system, which all the ancients say we have, not what NASA tells us, we're in a closed loop system. And we have a sky where the stars and everything is in it, right? You can witness it when you boil some water. The volcanic gases, they reach a certain height, they condense, they come down based on certain events. And us knowing that 100%, with the volcanic eruptions on the rise, we might get more and more meteor showers. When they talk about its souls leaving, it's all that stuff. It's not. It's just a beautiful astrological cycle of a cleanse. It's cleansing. It's a beautiful cleanse. So here's AI. So I had in a long discussion with AI on, well, if meteorites are the exact same composition as volcanic gases, which they are, how can they come from another planet? Knowing that this system is a closed system, like the ancients said, I said, would it work? Yes, the parameters of a closed system cosmology, the logic that meteorites could be formed from the Earth's volcanic materials fits. It provides a consistent explanation for meteorites that aligns with the idea of a self-contained Earth system under a firmament, where all observed phenomena are the result of terrestrial processes, rather than extraterrestrial origins. I mean, just boil some water and you'll see it happen. It's the same thing. Then under the right conditions, the right cold conditions, you'll get hail, ice hail. And in the right conditions, we'll get volcanic hail, the Hail Mary. So like anything, the Samhain is just a cycle in the system. It's just part of the winter cycle. The Samhain was just basically saying Mother Nature goes to sleep, which is a beautiful thing. But for us, we got to know that it is a beautiful sign, though. It is a reminder, because the energies do cleanse us, our internal cleansing, our internal cells, every one of our cells has a firmament. And at this exact time, the Alcyone is in Taurus, and the sun, Ceres and Mars are in Scorpio. So again, that's another procreation, manifestation, sexuality, time out. So Day of the Dead in the Bible, chapter 26, book of Isaiah, stretch the borders of life. Your dead shall live, the body shall rise. You who dwell in the dust, awake and sing for joy. Chapter 4, Book 1, Thessalonians, the call to sanctification. For the ruling goddess, because Lord means ruling goddess, will come down from heaven with a loud command and with the voice of the archangel and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will first rise. Book 1 of Corinthians, the resurrection, chapter 15. So will it be with the resurrection of the dead. The body that is sown is perishable, it is raised imperishable. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, and it's raised a spiritual body. So all this stuff really is just about our lives, our infinite lives. And it's just a reminder when we see once a year that the meteorites, the cleansing of the internal earth and its own processes. It's just a reminder for us that we need to cleanse and we need to be pure. Okay, quickly, I just want to have a discussion that it is part of this group, comes mostly from me, obviously, that the Bible is from the Egyptian walls. So we're going to show you more proof in upcoming gatherings, but just for now, know that the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, the oldest Bible, the Hebrew Bible, are believed to date back to the 12th century and much later. The Tanakh was compiled over a long period, and that's important because it was compiled over a long period of time because they're trying to figure out what's on the Egyptian walls. they're trying to decipher it. So it consists of 3 parts: the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, the law, the prophets, and the writings. So the Torah, also known as the Pentateuch, is the foundational set of the first 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So if this truly was the first known Bible, which they say it is, then there must be a link to these in the Egyptian walls. So I had long discussions with AI, and yeah, it's very fitting. Genesis is the temple of Seti the first. So if you go jump into Seti, you'll see that there's a lot of cartouches. So I won't get into detail here, but there's a lot of indication that this is the book of Genesis. And then the Komombo temple is the book of Exodus. And Exodus means when you exit Egypt, you lose your way. That's us going from the Aryan Age into the Piscean Age. And Leviticus is the Karnak temple. So over the next few gatherings, I'll stick some in here showing more and more proof that no, the Egyptian walls is the Bible, misinterpreted, and it's about your life on the wheel. And that's all we have for today.